Burrow versus Herbert for the first time in the NFL. 41-22, the Chargers beat the Bengals, and it was a very entertaining game. The Chargers, who started with a 24-0 lead, came out the gates firing, forced some turnovers, took advantage of them, took a 24-0 lead, and being a ex-Charger fan, being around, Charger fans, I knew that this game was not out of the reach for the Bengals. You can't get too comfortable with the Chargers. I kind of wanted to put a little bet in just to on the Bengals comeback, just because the Chargers are known for blowing leads, just like the Falcons, just like the Vikings. They're known for that. And sure enough, the Bengals came firing back. And before you know it, is the third quarter, and we're going into the fourth quarter, and it's 24-22 Bengals, and you're like, what just happened? How did the Chargers go from 24-0 to 24-22? And you're thinking, okay, like they're going to blow it. We're playing in Cincinnati. Burrow is looking a little better. He's completing his passes. Mixon's starting to get going. Like, it's bad. It's bad for the Chargers. It's good for the Bengals. Burrow's it's gonna be crazy storylines if Burrow's able to complete this comeback against the Chargers. Burrow, who had some interceptions, but he threw the ball to Chase. Chase should have had the touchdown. Probably would have walked in for a touchdown. I don't think they would have caught up to him. But he doesn't catch it cleanly. It bounces back and it leads to interception. So Burrow, to be able to shake that off and come back strong and bring the Bengals back, it was like, okay, this is impressive. But Mixon, costly turnover. Bengals, who had the ball, they were driving to take the lead. Field goal takes the lead. Touchdown takes the lead. And Mixon fumbles the ball, puts the ball on the ground, puts the ball on the turf. The Chargers return it for a touchdown. And after that, the Bengals couldn't get much going. It was deflating, to say the least. But overall, it was just a great game. It was a great game. These early games weren't that great, but this one was entertaining. The final score, 41-22. I think it's a little lopsided. It was definitely more entertaining than a 19-point victory. And this just excites me. This excites me for the future. Burrow and Herbert and Tua to another degree, but all three of them are always going to be tied at the hip. They came from the same draft class, number 1, number 2, number 3 quarterback picked off the board. And this was the first meeting between Herbert and Burrow. The Chargers and the Bengals played week 1 of last year, but Tyrod Taylor got the start. So the Joe Burrow versus Herbert battle we didn't get to see last year. This year they play again. So fortunately for us, we get to see them. And it was a great game. And I'm excited. Both young quarterbacks, both who have high ceilings. I think both franchises will be content with who they picked. I think the Bengals feel like they found their quarterback, their franchise QB, who, has brought them back into, the AFC contention, who's brought them, back into playoff hopes. And the Chargers, who should be really happy that after Breeze, after Rivers, they found Herbert. So both teams should be very happy. I think both teams are going to be perennial playoff teams for years to come because these are two great QBs. And it was just fun. It was exciting. I'm glad I got to see this. And it should have been flexed. I'm still mad that this game did not get flexed into Sunday Night Football. The Sunday Night Football game, Chiefs versus Broncos, I think that one wasn't as entertaining as this one. Putting Burrow versus Herbert, it should have been on Sunday Night Football. But nevertheless, it was still a great game. The Bengals were making a furious comeback. For my money, I think they could have completed the comeback if it wasn't for Mixon fumbling. But you got to be opportunistic. The Chargers forced turnovers. They won the turnover. They won the turnover battle, 3-4, not by much. The Chargers fumbled 2 and they threw 1 interception themselves, but this game was definitely closer than the score shows. And now the Chargers are the 5th seed. They're the first wild card. The Bengals are now the number 2. So this had a lot of playoff implications too. It crumbled up the wild card positioning even more. We'll see if both teams make the playoffs. I'm hopeful. I want both of them to make it. I need to see Burrow. I need to see Herbert in the playoffs. I think they both we'll spice it up. These even more young quarterbacks in the playoffs. Like, let's do it. Let's do it. I want to see Herbert. I want to see Burrow in the playoffs more than an old Ben Roethlisberger or Carson Wentz with the Colts or Derek Carr with the Raiders or um, Baker Mayfield with the Browns or Teddy Bridgewater with the Broncos. Tua, I wouldn't mind seeing Tua in the playoffs, but I think if we get the Chargers and the Bengals in the playoffs, it would just spice up the playoffs even more. Just having two more marquee quarterbacks. And right now they're the 5th and 6th seed. We'll see if they're able to stay in that hunt in one of these positions. It's gonna be a dogfight to the end. 3 teams are 7-5. Another is 6-5-1. Colts are 7-6. It's gonna be a dogfight to the end. The Chargers are just one game back against the Chiefs, so they're still in it. The Bengals are just one game back against the Ravens, so they're still in it for the AFC North and the AFC West, respectively. The AFC is just a clusterfuck. It's ridiculous. It's insane how competitive the AFC has been this season, but it's been great to watch. It's been great to see. And the Chargers versus Bengals was just another example of two AFC upper echelon teams going at it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Burrow versus Herbert. Round 1 goes to Herbert. And we're probably going to get 12 or more rounds of this. And I'm here for it. And you guys should all be here for it too.